If you have paid attention at checkout recently, you probably noticed there are more options when it comes to getting a receipt, printed, emailed, or you can just skip it altogether. And it was that final choice that led Carl to reach out to our Verify team.
This gentleman says he selected no receipt, but he then later wanted to return an item and he wasn't able to because he didn't have a receipt. And I'm curious, where does Washington law stand when it comes to situations like that?
Yeah, so first, I always have to be a little careful because when it comes to law, we have to keep it a relatively general. Specific facts can change things, number one. Number two, in general, stores do have a lot of flexibility on what their return policies are. They can even say, hey, you've got to have the original packaging, for example, or you have to have a receipt. In general, that is true.
The Washington State Attorney General's website makes it clear, apart from a few specific cases such as telemarketing or door-to-door sales, quote, no law requires sellers to accept items for refund, exchange, or credit unless merchandise is defective or misrepresented. That's why Attorney General Bob Ferguson says it is important to do some research before you make a big purchase.
So we always encourage folks to do some work up front to find out what the return policy is.
And while a receipt is no guarantee when it comes to making a return,
getting a receipt is certainly something that I do, and I would encourage consumers to do as well, just as a backup, just in case.
So we can verify, yes, a store may be able to refuse some returns without a receipt, but it needs to make that clear in its return policy. So what can you do if you want to make a return but don't have a receipt?
I would encourage the individual, hey, if they used a credit card, they could maybe show their credit card as well, it's not a receipt, evidence of the purchase, and to give it a try. Because look, most stores, I think, want to work with their customers, right? They don't want to have a reputation of being inflexible.
Well, if you are still having trouble with the return, you can reach out to the state's consumer protection team. Both Washington and Idaho have these units which help return millions of dollars to consumers each year. We have the contact details along with more tips to protect yourself on our website. Just head to krem.com/verify.